What's up, dude? Today I'm gonna show you how to make a really special smash burger, and yes, of course, the meat is gonna be melt in your mouth tender, the bun is gonna be fluffy and perfectly toasted. But the real star of this recipe is the sweet, sour, salty, smoky, spicy jalapeno bacon jam that I'm quite sure is gonna become a recipe you'll make for the rest of your life. Now let's go! Let's start with some veg prep. Prep is complete, now let's make this jam. But before we do, we need to slice up this bacon, and a little tip I have for you is to leave the bacon in the freezer for about 20 minutes before slicing. That makes it really easy. And I'm gonna do this just like the rest of the vegetables. Cut it into these nice cubes, about a medium dice. And this is just like butter because it's been in the freezer. So just something like this. Doesn't need to be perfect, as it's all gonna be a sloppy, delicious mess in the end. Now I'm getting this bacon into a pot over medium heat, and we're just gonna slowly start rendering this down and crisping it up. And after 10 or 15 minutes and some frequent stirring, it will be deep frying in its own fat like you see right here. And because I can't see it, I'm just gonna lift some up. Wait a second, and just make sure it's nice and golden brown and crispy. Now at this stage, what I'm gonna do is just begin pulling out the bacon. Probably an easier way to do this. You could strain the whole thing if you want. I just don't wanna get all the fat on my strainer. It's always so hard to clean. And now we're gonna reserve some of this bacon fat, but I don't need it all. It's just too much for the jam. So I'm just carefully pouring some out while I look you in the eyes. It works. I'm leaving about 2 tablespoons in the pot, and this I'll save for something else. Now with the heat back on medium, I'm gonna add the onion in, and we'll start cooking this down. My God, the smell of onion and bacon fat is just insane, isn't it? It smells so good. After about 3 minutes, I'm adding in the red bell pepper. Another 2 minutes, I'm going in with my jalapenos. And be careful when you're buying jalapenos, because these ones, dude, it's a bell pepper in disguise. No spice, a dud. Luckily, these Fresno chilies that are going in next are pretty spicy, because I do want a sort of medium heat to this jam. I don't want it to be mild, and I don't want it to be blow your face off spicy. Start cooking these down. Another 3 minutes of cooking. Now I'm adding the spices, starting with onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, and a little bit of Sergeant Gilbert reporting for duty. Trumpet sound. There it is, and here we go. Straight in. And I'll cook this for another minute with the spices. I'm now gonna add all that bacon back in. Oh yeah. Next, I'm going in with my apple cider vinegar, white sugar, and maple syrup. I'll give that a nice stir, and now we're just gonna keep this heat on medium-low and let this cook down. At this point, our jam has been cooking down for a full hour and a half. And now, as you can see, it's still a little bit wet. Now watch, as I run this spatula through, see how it just runs back together, but it takes a second. Watch again, see that? One more time. Boom, 1 second, and then it's together. We're putting it on burgers, but if I were to be making this for a cheese board, which is literally the second best thing you can do with it, I would pull it right now, because as it sits in the fridge, this is gonna thicken up quite a lot. But because we're making it for burgers, I'm going to cook it down for another 5-10 minutes until it's just a little bit thicker. The other thing you want to do at this point is taste it for salt. Now remember, it has the salt from the bacon, but it could still maybe use more. It's so good. I'm going in with just a touch more salt. It's pretty much there, but I think it could use just a little sprinkle. Oh my God, this is gonna be insane. Do yourself a favor, make a cheese board with this sometime. It's gonna be nuts. There we go, just another 5 minutes, and you can see it's quite a lot thicker now. It is perfect for burgers, so now I'm gonna get it out of the pot. And trust me, you're not gonna wanna waste a drop of this. Wow. There we are, my friends. Let's set this aside while we finish these burgers. But before we do that, let's talk about the cheese. Can we talk about the cheese? You can use whatever kind of cheese you want. Today, I've got a really mature cheddar and this Applewood smoked Fontina cheese. 2 amazing cheeses. But again, you want to use American, do American. You want to do Monterey Jack, you want to do provolone, you want to do just a slice of cheddar. I don't care. I just want you to cook, man. That's it. So I'm just gonna make some slices of these. I'm gonna do a little bit of both. This cheddar has like a wax thing around it. It's really crumbly, but it's still gonna be really good. Slice some of that up. Oh my God, there we go. The next component of our burger, and I am super excited about this one, is gonna be a Calabrian chili aioli. I'm gonna be making it myself using whole eggs. If you don't wanna do that, I totally understand. Just mix it with mayonnaise. 1 whole egg going into a food processor, along with just a little bit of water that helps it get really nice and fluffy, and our garlic. And now I'm going in with these Calabrian chilies. These are so good. It's an Italian product. They have a wonderful fruity flavor, and they're pretty spicy, which I love. love. So I'm just gonna start by adding about 4 or 5 of these little guys, and I'll begin by blending these 4 ingredients. I didn't turn it on. Oh my God. I forgot to plug it in. We have fun around here. And here we go. And after about a minute, it should be nice and fluffy, kind of aerated at this point. We're gonna begin streaming in our oil, which if you know me, I'm always using avocado oil when I make my mayonnaises. It's my favorite because it's healthy. In we go. So I'm gonna start by adding about half the oil. Once that's in, it's really starting to thicken up. I'm gonna add my acid ingredients, so lemon juice, touch of white wine vinegar. And at this point, I'm also gonna add the salt. Now I'll return to blending and add the rest of the oil. I'll also put a link to these chilies down in the description because they're sitting in oil, which I'm gonna use a little bit in here as well. Now be a good cook. Spoon flip, taste your mayonnaise. God, I love it. I love it. Oh my God, that's so good, dude. That's so good. I'm talking to Marcus. He's here. You got people to talk to. Oh, that is fire. I'm just doing a little more lemon juice to taste, right? Blend that in. Other side of the spoon, no double dip. Mamma mia. My God, that's good. That doesn't need anything else. Absolutely perfect. I will stick it in a Tupperware container and try to use it up within 5 or 6 days. Here I have some homemade ground beef that was in the freezer. And for me, this is really what makes a burger super special, right? So this has 1.5 pounds of sirloin to 1 pound of brisket to 1 pound of chuck roast. Those are the ratios. I'll put it down in the description. And I use that ratio specifically for smash burgers, and it is honestly just so freaking good. Having said that, obviously, if you don't want to make your own ground beef, I totally understand. Just try to find one that's at least 20% fat. And so what I'm doing right now is just making little balls, trying to make them the same size. You can weigh them out if you want, but you don't have to. I ended up with 2 smaller balls here. That's okay. What am I gonna do? Not make them? All fine. So what I'm doing now, salt and pepper. Just take a second here to really season these up nicely. A wise man once told me that a great cook is really good at doing lots of little things. And those lots of little things add up to a really great bite. And I've never forgot that. I think it's really true. These little details, they matter, they add up. Roll these around here for a minute, get them more or less in ball shape again. Now we're ready to cook on the Made-In griddle, which is the sponsor of today's video. And I am super proud to have them, as I've been a fan of their products long before they ever sponsored this channel. And today I'll be using their carbon steel griddle and their press to make the perfect smash burger. Made-In partners with the very best raw material providers as well as multi-generational manufacturers from the US, UK, Italy, and France to bring you superior kitchen products. And their pans are used in multiple 3 Michelin star restaurants like Alinea in Chicago and La Bernardine in New York City. Their carbon steel griddle is seriously an amazing piece of kit to have in your arsenal if you are an avid home cook. And that's because it can be used outside on a grill or over an open flame, or inside on a gas, induction, or electric stove. You can use it everywhere. Its large flat surface is really designed to maximize flavor, crispiness, caramelization on whatever you throw on it. Today we're obviously doing smash burgers, but it makes amazing grilled cheeses. It does great chicken, it does pancakes, it does eggs, it does everything. It also comes pre-seasoned and is really naturally non-stick. I have never had one piece of food stick to that griddle. And the grill press is crafted from high-performing stainless steel and can withstand up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit of heat. If you've been looking for the perfect summer griddle, then trust me, that is it. You can check out their carbon steel griddle as well as Made-In's other cookware by clicking the link down in the description to save on your order. Thank you so much, Made-In, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the recipe. To cook the burgers, place them onto a medium-high heat griddle that's been very lightly oiled. Then place 2 pieces of parchment paper on top and smash them down using the press. Let them cook for 2.5 to 3 minutes, and when you're ready to turn them, flip the spatula upside down. This way you'll make sure that nothing sticks to the griddle. Once flipped, that side of the burger is gonna be really hot, so add your cheese straight away while they continue to cook. And because I used cheese that I sliced myself, I used a torch just to help it melt faster. But keep in mind, if you're using pre-sliced cheese, and especially American cheese, you will have no need to do this as it will melt within a minute. I give my burgers another 2 minutes on the other side, and then they're ready to serve. Now you can use whatever bun you like. I'm using a Martin's toasted potato roll, just great bun for burgers. Down we go with some of our incredible mayonnaise. Oh my God, nice and saucy. And I'm gonna do a little bit of my jam on the bottom. Oh, followed by my burger. Double stack, of course, and a nice glob of jam on top, just like this. Oh my God. Now we'll close her up, and look what we have here. Whoa. Kind of feels wrong to cut a burger in half, but here we go. All right, Marcus. Oh my God, dude. Woo, looks so good. Cheers. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think that's the best burger we've ever done on the channel.
This is crazy good.
Oh
my God.
The soft, pillowy bun, the melt in your mouth meat, the sweet, sour, spicy coming from that jam, the cheese with that sharpness and salt, the mayonnaise. Come on, this is insane.
This is a specialty thing, especially if you make burgers the same way every time. This is a really good change of pace.
The heat is like medium, even maybe closer to mild. If you really love spice, you could add habanero, but I love the heat. Man, that's good, dude. Wow. Woo! Thanks for hanging out with me today. I really hope making this jalapeno bacon jam is now high up on your list of things to do. Check the description down below for links to my Master in the Making ebook with 55 of my favorite recipes, as well as a huge list of tools and equipment that I use here in my kitchen. And if you want to keep learning today, here are 2 more incredible burger recipes that I know you're gonna love. Until next time, you know I love you and I'm out.